7420. You already know.
One time I did talk, it turned into a movie.
What's good, man? It's 7420 TV. How am I think it's a podcast? Listen, we back here, man, because Hassan talking about he got a phone call about Fat Joe. But if y'all know, history shows that he'll talk about the person, apologize, big him up, talk about him, apologize, big it up. I mean, we all pretty much know that by now, right? Alright, so then when we get to the video, shouldn't be much to talk about. Little 5-minute video, nothing too crazy. But we're gonna break this 5-minute video down and show you. Look at him. Hair all pressed and permed out. Look at him. Don't know what to do after this breakdown.
Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Let me address Fat Joe real quick. Fat Joe. My niggas don't dance, they just pull up their pants and do the rock away and lean back. I got a phone call for what you would call your OG I call my big brother. I don't have an OG, but if I'm speaking in your terms, me being a grown man, my OG, my brother T-Mac, gave me a phone call, right? He had a long talk with me about Fat Joe. He had a sit down with me about Fat Joe. And let me say this. There's a dude from Dipset.
Hassan, listen, bro. When you talk about somebody, you don't gotta sing a song for every artist you talk about. 1, 2. You're nobody. No, didn't anybody call you about no Fat Joe? What they called you about is stop slandering niggas. What they probably said to you. Stop lying on niggas. What they probably said to you. Cause it's mighty funny how when all else fails, and you going downhill, when you breaking down and you crying about your thighs again and damn and molestation, you do this again. Everybody that you clown, remember Jimmy? Oh, now I want to big up Jimmy. Oh, he told me outside and be a lobby boy. Oh, I big up Jimmy. What's next with this Fat Joe thing? You gonna do the same thing? What you gonna do?
Named Shooter93 on Instagram. Shout out to Shooter. He said something slick one day when I made a post about Jim Jones being with Alpo. And he said, the apology has to be as loud as the disrespect. And I agree, especially in this situation with Fat Joe, right? So now, here's what I'm going to say about Fat Joe, right? Despite what he went through with Pun and his wife, I don't know the full details. I only know from the outside looking in.
Which means you don't know absolutely anything. If you just know information from looking in, then you don't know anything. Your best bet is not to speak on it, Hassan. But you don't understand that. When your head get permed down and pressed, and you stepping out feeling like a hot girl, man, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Right? I said what I said. I don't backpedal on what I said on that topic. But what I will say is, as a man, I have to salute Fat Joe, because what I didn't know was, see, there's a dude named Joe, and he's from the Bronx. And Joe was my man from Cortland Ave, one of the brothers.
That means you want a Zulu member then, huh? And secondly, ain't it funny how you know Fat Joe and then Joe he talking about it's another Joe? He's making this stuff up. No one calls Hassan but Bullets Gotti. Not even legally calls Hassan. Only Bullets Gotti. Coming in my room talking about Bullets Gotti on me when I just dropped 1,000 videos. Man, you don't stop playing with me. You and your little boyfriend.
When my brother Joe passed away, what I didn't know was Fat Joe paid for the whole funeral. And my brother T-Mac pulled my coat to that. Not only did he pay for the funeral, but Joe's twin brother been incarcerated for some years now. And Fat Joe stay on that visiting floor. And I'm like, wow. So in other words, what I'm saying is, you know, as of now, I look at Fat Joe as family. And I gotta put some respect.
Y'all hear that, y'all? He look at Fat Joe as family now because he said and kept making sure he visited a certain person in jail. That makes Fat Joe family. That makes everything you said about Fat Joe invalid, right? So you lied on this man. You slandered this man, you and other people, and now he's family. You see where I'm going? He has no friends. Like they all said, anybody that was Hassan moderator before has always said he's turned on all his moderators. He has nobody to go to. The only go-to he has is Boaz Gotti. Boaz Gotti is never going to turn his back on Hassan. I mean, for God's sakes, they got to put together, and Boaz Gotti admitted that Hassan is taking care of him, helping taking care of him.
Respect on his name, not because Haas intimidated by nobody. Haas don't drink PP water. But what it is
PP water?
that when a man is actually sitting up there going on a visiting floor, is sitting on a visiting floor on Fat Joe's level, and he's sitting on a visiting floor with one of my mans that runs with me, that rocks with me. You know, before my boy Joe passed away, Haas was in a situation where Haas had to get busy. And Joe was right there. Not Fat Joe, but my man Joe. The same one that Fat Joe paid for his funeral. So I say shout out to Fat Joe for doing he did some real shit, man. And I can't sit back and act like I didn't see or hear that coming out of the mouth of my OG, my big brother. I don't have an OG, but I use y'all terminology, my big brother, T-Mac. So it is what it is, man. Shout out to Fat Joe, man. Shout out to the whole Terror Squad. Or whatever the case may be, it is what it is, man. More or less, like Shooter said, the disrespect got to be allowed. It's loud as the apology. I don't know the full details with Pun, his wife, his kids, and Joe.
If y'all ain't noticed, he never knows the full details of anything that's big. Anything that's like real, he has no information on because no one talks to him. He has no sources. Would y'all see that this is about to be the greatest downfall of YouTube history, man. You're about to witness the greatest downfall in YouTube history. And his downfall is because of nobody but himself. Selfish. And it's all older YouTubers. It's not our young ones, it's the older ones. While he hates drill music, but he loves King Von. Like, I can go on and on and on, back and forth with this guy, man. I don't know how much more dirt I gotta put out, how much more veils I gotta unveil, but listen.
What I have to speak on is what he did with my family. My boy Joe. Shout out to Ant. Shout out to Joe. I mean, he rest in peace. Happy birthday to my brother, B.O., Jerry, because they birthdays back to back. Shout out to my brother, T-Mac. Shout out to Iz. And shout out to everybody else. It is what it is. Shout out to Fat Joe. You know what I mean? Real people do real things. I can't agree or disagree on what I've seen or thought I've seen in the situation with Pun and Pun family. But I have to speak on what he did for my family. Rest in peace to Joe. It is what it is, man. You know. Pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. It ain't none of us too real where we can't apologize when we wrong. I'm not afraid to ever say to anybody, apologies. Peace. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that subscribe button. My niggas don't pants, my niggas don't dance, they just pull up their pants and do the rock away.
I don't know what he almost took up and said, but he almost said something else that he didn't mean to say. But like, comment, subscribe, man. Let me know how y'all feel about the video, how you felt. I feel like Haas is crying because of the dead homies that he missing. I feel like he's crying because he's missing his boo-boos. I think that's why he was crying, why he broke down. I mean, remember the birthdays he just dropped? Like I said, man, comment how y'all feel at the bottom. Let me know how y'all feel about him in the situation. How Hassan dogs people, come at people, and wants to apologize and ain't supposed to be okay. I mean, it happened and it started with the Kwame situation. He was mad at Kwame for not accepting his apology. Whole motherfucking problem started. 2-year problem started. Like I said, man, like, comment, subscribe, man. Let me know how you feel about the video, about the situation, and about Fat Joe, or about Hassan, either or. Make sure y'all subscribe. Tell everybody about 7420 TV, man. Make it sure to tell them about 420 TV, man. Up and coming hottest podcast that's probably gonna ever be around. Up and coming weed podcast.